Why does 2016 nostalgia feel older than it actually is? The answer is not that 2016 was ancient. The answer is that internet time moves through vanished platforms, changed interfaces, and broken habits. When a feed changes how people live, even a decade can feel like a museum wall. Start with the feeling. People remember 2016 through phone screens, Pokemon Go crowds, Vine loops, Square Instagram photos, music snippets, memes, and the sense that the internet still had more open space. That memory is powerful because it is not only about events, it is about a version of online life that many viewers can still picture clearly. The year feels close because the images are familiar, but it feels far because the rules around those images changed. The first mechanism is platform disappearance. A vanished platform ages faster than a surviving one. Vine is the clearest example. 6-second looping videos trained creators to compress a joke, a dance, or a reaction into a tiny rhythm. When Vine disappeared, the behavior did not vanish. It moved into TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Reels, and the whole short video economy. That makes Vine feel like an artifact from an earlier civilization, even though many of its habits became the new normal. The second mechanism is interface memory. Old app layouts become historical evidence. A square Instagram grid, a simpler Snapchat screen, an older YouTube homepage, or a less crowded Twitter timeline can trigger nostalgia because the interface was part of daily life. People do not only remember what they posted, they remember where the buttons were, what the feed felt like, and how hard it was to find the next thing. When an interface disappears, a whole routine disappears with it. The third mechanism is public shock. 2016 sits near several moments when people began to talk about platforms as political infrastructure, not just entertainment. Brexit, the United States election, misinformation arguments, and platform responsibility all pushed the internet into the center of public life. The feed stopped feeling like a side room and started feeling like a main road. That is why nostalgia for 2016 can feel contradictory. Viewers miss the mood of the era while also remembering that something darker was becoming visible. A good example is Pokemon Go. The game turned phones into a shared street-level experience. People walked through parks, gathered near landmarks, and watched the digital layer spill into physical space. For many, that felt like playful internet optimism, but it also showed something larger. A platform could coordinate behavior in public space. The same basic lesson would later feel less playful when feeds shaped politics, news, outrage, and trust. This is where recent history becomes useful. Nostalgia compresses a complicated year into a soft image. History opens the image back up. If someone says they miss 2016, they might mean they miss a song, a meme, a game, an app, a friendship, or a version of themselves before the feed felt heavier. None of that is fake, but it is incomplete. The historian's job is to ask what systems made that feeling possible. One system was the shift from follow-based culture toward recommendation culture. Users still followed accounts, but the feed was learning to act more aggressively. Platforms were discovering that attention could be measured, predicted, and pushed. The viewer did not need to search as much. The feed could decide what to test next. That transition did not begin in 2016 and did not end there. But 2016 became a convenient memory marker because so many people felt the before and after around that period. Another system was the industrialization of short attention. Vine looked casual, but it helped prove that tiny videos could create repeat viewing, fast jokes, copied formats, and creator identity. Later platforms scaled that logic into larger recommendation machines. So when people miss Vine era culture, they are also sensing a time before short video felt fully optimized. It is not that old short videos were pure, it is that the business around them had not yet hardened into the current shape. The strongest way to understand 2016 nostalgia is to separate three layers. Layer 1 is personal memory, where you were, what you watched, who you talked to, and which songs or jokes stuck. Layer 2 is platform structure, which apps existed, how feeds worked, what formats rewarded creators, and how fast trends moved. Layer 3 is public history, how politics, trust, news, and identity battles moved through those systems. Nostalgia usually starts with layer 1, but the explanation lives in all three. This is also why old screenshots are so effective. A screenshot is a small artifact. It preserves fonts, buttons, colors, usernames, aspect ratios, and assumptions. A screenshot of an old feed can show what the internet asked people to do at the time. Did it ask them to follow, to search, To share? To swipe? To react? To argue? Those tiny design choices become historical evidence because they trained habits. The danger is pretending that 2016 was simple. It was not. It had harassment, polarization, misinformation, platform manipulation, and plenty of anxiety. The nostalgia becomes misleading if it edits those things out, but it becomes useful if we treat it as a clue. People are not only missing 1 year, they are noticing that the internet changed roles. It moved from a set of places people visited into a system that followed them everywhere. That is why 2016 feels older than it is. The calendar says it is recent. The artifacts say it belongs to a different internet. The old logos, old interfaces, old memes, old short video rhythms, and old political shocks all point to a hinge moment. A hinge moment does not have to be the beginning of everything. It only has to be the moment people can use to remember that the door moved. So the takeaway is not that 2016 was better. The takeaway is that 2016 became a memory handle for a major platform transition. It helps people talk about the gap between playful internet culture and the heavier feed that came after. If this helped the trend make sense, please like the video and subscribe for more History First explainers. This channel uses current signals as doors into the past, because the fastest way to understand a feed is often to ask what changed before it. If this helped the trend make sense, please like the video and subscribe for fast, no fluff explainers. I'll see you in the next one.